Welcome. In this video, we're going to begin to add the large muscle groups for the legs. Previous videos, we worked on the front, the back, and the bony landmarks, beginning with the bony landmarks. Now we're going to go ahead and move to the legs. If you'd like to see the previous videos, please access those in the YouTube channel there, or the course shell. Alright, for the legs, we're going to start with the front of the leg. We have several large muscle groups to identify, and where I like to start is a long strappy muscle. We've already put in this little teardrop muscle. It's still quite large, so we'll be able to redefine that as we go. But we're going to put in a long strappy muscle that actually defines the shape of the leg. It starts way up here next to this teardrop shape, where this one actually adheres to the hip bone there. This one comes down from that point, wraps down and around the leg, internal to the thigh, and then down around the back of the knee and forward. So it's quite long, it's quite thin, it's very, very strong. And once we get that one in there, we will have no problem identifying the location of the remaining muscles that we want to put in there. Alright, so let's go ahead and identify that. I'm going to go ahead and use the clay buildup. Remember in previous videos that I have swapped out the square alpha brush for the round alpha. So I like that one when I'm dealing with muscles. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and put the square back, and you can see that's going to give me something that looks more strappy as I go. So I'm going to go ahead and get the brush size that I want, and now I'm going to go ahead and get a good angle on that. And I'll draw this as many times as I feel like I need to, sometimes in parts, just to make sure that it's as accurate as I need it to be. So from this point, down and around, and now I'm going to come up from the back side with a smaller brush, and around the base of the knee. This one's coming down to meet it, and then completing that. Okay. I don't want it too thick, so I'm going to go ahead and, oops, be careful with where I actually indicate that. And then that comes down and attaches to the shin bone there. Alright, let's smooth this area out. This is getting that strappy appearance that I'm looking for here. I'm going to just quickly go back to the circular and bring that shape down a little bit more from that point where it actually connects. Okay, now dial this up a little bit and come to my smooth and go ahead and smooth this all out here. I want it to be strongly indicated. It's more prominent there, but not so much that it's not the shape that it actually needs to be. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and get the damn standard brush. If you can filter on your brushes again by just clicking on the key for the first letter of your brush, but if you've used it before, it will be in your quick picks list there. And so there's quite a deep area right in here. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that that exists, and smoothing it back. Alright, now we can come down and around, and I want to identify that my my kneecaps are a little high, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust those, make the adjustments that we need along the way. I'm going to go ahead and adjust those down a little bit. Yeah, just smoothing them out. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the damn standard brush. Now, having identified this long strappy muscle in here, I'm going to go ahead and indicate where the muscles are around that. So the first one I want to identify is one that comes, it's rather bulbous. It's very, it's like a teardrop shape, and it'll come down from this area and down and rest right on top of the knee there. That's not as clean as I want it to be, so I'm going to just do it again. Undo, do it again. Alright, so I've indicated where that one is located, and now I can come and fill in more of the volume, and we'll do that normally with the standard or the clay buildup. Let's go ahead and get a nice shape on that. The next one is in the center of the leg. We don't want to lose the strappiness of our muscle, so go back and just carve that in when you need to. And now this muscle is quite long, starts way up here at the top again, and it has a nice curvature shape on the outside here, and then comes in and connects down around our kneecap there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and give myself some more intensity on that one, and go over that stroke one more time, and there you can begin to see that muscle. It's not as full as the bottom of this one, so be careful when you're adding volume. You don't want to get too full of these and then have to go back and correct that. So I'm just going to go ahead, and you can go after it with one stroke like I did, or you can dial down the intensity and go for it in layers of influence. Alright, so that's quite a protruding muscle there now. And I'll fix the rest of the volume when I get to that point. Alright, now the muscle on the side of the leg is quite large. It's going to actually come from the V point here, come down and around, and attach to the lower knee. So I'm going to go ahead and shut off the floor with the image planes on there so I can get a little bit better view. This one is fairly deep, so I'm going to go get the correct brush, the damn standard brush, and carve quite deep in there. Just testing my stroke, making the modifications that I need as I go. Go in the wrong direction here. I need one that's coming right here, gets a little bit more volume on the back side, and then comes up and meets here. So I may not be able to do that in one stroke, but I'm going to try it again. Down, just take your time. Down and around. Still too long, I need more arc in that. And I'm getting a little too far back on that leg. This one has lots of volume on the side, but I need to get the line just the way that I want it before I start. Alright, that's a little bit better. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, and the line of that muscle has begun here, but it's a lot different shape. So I'm going to go get my move tool and begin to pull my muscle form forward, which also shapes up the back nicely. So now I'm going to get, and this one should be up just a little bit more. Okay, and I'll go ahead and smooth that out a little bit on the back side too. locating the focal shift, just keep nudging it forward in the direction that you want it to go. This one is a little bit too voluminous, so I'm going to push that one back and pull this one forward just a little bit more here. Just want the shape that I want it to be. Alright, now you can also correct the outside. I really like a very shapely leg. Now this one is quite full at the bottom, so I'm going to actually do the additive process and get some more volume here at the bottom. So nice and light, not quite that much intensity to start. I want to stay, it's like a teardrop here at the bottom, and then it comes down into sort of a sinewy attachment ligament here at the bottom. So nice full muscle. Okay, looking a little bit better. Nice round muscle. I can always change the shape if I want to. And that's looking more like what I want it to look like. Keep an eye on your reference. Okay, I'm going to pull this shape out a little bit more. Maintaining that arc. Make sure that you're maintaining the arc of that muscle group in all directions. Okay, I'm going to put another 2 big thick rolls of muscle back in here. So I need to just make sure that I'm maintaining what I want over here. Okay. I think we've got it. We can turn on our floor image planes to correct our volume here. Go after the move brush. Still have a little bit to, got to move. A little bit up here, not much. Just pulling that right into the alignment that I wanted. Okay. Now, here you have a couple of muscles that attach to the lower part of the pelvis bone. Actually quite a few smaller ones, and then you have a natural fat pack that is actually seen there too. So we're going to start with the clay buildup. I've got the round on it, and just indicate a couple of those right in here without losing our strappy muscle there. We got all kinds of little muscles going on in here. They're coming down from the top, down and around. Got a nice long one here. Okay. And again, you don't want to lose the strappiness of that muscle that's over the rest of them there. So cut it in when you need to. Maybe you just need to accentuate certain areas to show that some of the muscles are a little bit more bulbous than others. Let me cut this one in. Cut this one in. Down and around. A nice deep area here. And this strappy muscle is not round by any means. It's actually a strap like a belt there coming down and around it. So excuse me. Alright, and then it's not full enough. Grab your move tool, put it in position. Make sure you're down and around that in the right area here. Tackle it in the back too. Keep those legs on your game model as far apart as you are able, because you will make the life of your rigger a lot easier as they come in and start weight painting this. It's not as difficult as it used to be with the newer tools, but it can still be a challenge to paint the weights on your mesh. Alright, let's go after the 2 long muscles in the back, and then we can do the lower leg. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get the dam standard. So I want to identify the deep grooves that happen back here. It's a really, the back of the knee here is a really beautiful area, but you got to get it just right. Indicate the combination of the two bone structures coming together, and then how the calf muscles interlace with the back of the muscles in the back of the thigh there. Test your stroke. Okay, so these follow the form of the gluteus maximus, come down and around, and then they part down close to the knee there. So what I'm going to do is carve in, probably go a little deeper here, with a nice size brush, nice larger forms. It's almost straight down the back of the thigh. So coming straight down, we're going to open it up near the knee here, and I'm going to continue down to the lower part here and then swoop off to one side or the other. You've got twin muscles back here too that you need to identify. So turning off the floors, you see a little bit better here. Now I'm going to go back in a little bit more with a tighter brush and separate these muscles where they need to be separated a little bit more. So coming up and coming down. Okay, just smoothing back just a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and this muscle wraps off to one side, and this muscle wraps off to the other side here. Okay, and then the lower muscles come from up above here and wrap down and around here too. Might be getting a little deep on the knee, but that's okay. I can correct that. Try one more time here. Don't like the shape down here, so I'm just going to erase it, smoothing it out. And the inside of this calf muscle comes a little bit lower. Okay, so keep that in mind. This one's a little higher on the outside and a little rounder according to my reference. So go ahead and put those right in there. Shape them up and perfect them here in just a little bit. But very clearly, I want you to see that there's no muscle at all back here as we define that hole, and it's getting pretty deep there. So let's go ahead and smooth it back out and go with a smaller brush. Let's see if we can get this a little bit more accurate. Okay, so coming down and around. Ooh, too small. Down and around the front here. Okay, and then these muscles start from up in there, wrap down and around, and there's a big open hole back in here. Alright, now I'm going to go to the clay buildup, give myself a little bit of volume. Okay, now this is it's quite full on some characters. Just pulling that into the shape that you want it. Down and around. Smoothing it back. Alright, if your smooth is not working as fast or as well as you want it to, go over to geometry and dial down your subdivision surfaces, and then you can see it'll work really, really quickly. So with the smooth, remember all you're doing is putting that mesh back where it was before. Step it up because it's going to be different up here. You'll probably have to smooth it a little bit more up here too. in the higher LOD. Alright, you can see how misshapen my lower legs are, but I'm not there yet. So let's keep looking at these knees a little bit more. Make sure that you've got what you need here. You got a lot of muscles that come into play right around here. But we're going to work on perfecting the shapes of these large muscles coming down here. They are full, nice full muscles, not flat like they are now. So I'm going to go after my move brush and get a hold of my image planes and make sure that I am doing these muscles justice. Go ahead and scale out here, lock that into an orthographic view, come on down here, and then fill out these beautiful muscle groups here. Pull out my glute. Alright, you can see my deep carving has really taken me places where it let me look good, but it's not filling out like I want it to, so I'm going to make sure to get what I want out of that. Yeah, it's a little bit more muscly than my image planes. Alright, that's okay in this view. Let's check the other view. Notice that I did a nice job of filling out the one muscle, but the other is flat, and they are almost as equally full. So turn off my floor, and I'm going to go ahead with my clay buildup with the right brush size and fill this muscle out a little bit more, a little bit larger. I like that stroke. I tend to try to get volumes very quickly, and sometimes I just need to simmer down and know that it's going to take couple tweaks to get it where I want it to be. I want to lose the shape here. I want a nice full muscle there too. I don't like this little curl at the end here. As beautiful as that might be under the lights, it's not accurate. So I'm going to pull that volume out and around just a little bit to make sure that it's looking like the very strong attachment point that it should be. Okay, nice and strong. Okay, a lot better there. Alright, so the thigh. We have most of our large muscle groups identified in the thigh, and I think our video is getting a little long, and we're going to take a little time to do the bottom of the leg well, and so we'll come back for another video on that as we perfect the knee, working down the leg, getting a nice shape on the lower leg as well. Thank you for joining me for thighs, front and back, and I will see you next time for the calf, ankle, and the knee shapes. Thank you.